Hi everybody! Many anticipated films will be released in November. In this video, we will examine some of these films. Don't forget to like our video and subscribe to our channel. Most of us like Chinese movies. I'm sure most of us have seen at least one movie about the Monkey King. A new Monkey King movie is coming, starring Donnie Yen, Chow Yun-fat, Aaron Kwok. The plot of the movie told by an old sage, a Western monk who traveled from Europe to China in the 7th century. He tells the tale to two children, one Chinese, the other from the West, who come across the monk in a cave on a remote mountainside above the Eastern Ocean. The monk is the current keeper of 100 painted scrolls, each describing an event in the Monkey King's life. The legend begins. Armageddon Time. Written and directed by Gray, the coming-of-age period drama features an ensemble cast with award-winning actors like Sir Anthony Hopkins and Anne Hathaway headlining. Another most awaited film of the year, Armageddon Time explores family, friendship, and living the great American dream in the 1980s, told through the lens of a teenage boy. It follows Paul Graff, whose friendship with a fellow African-American classmate, Johnny, sparks racism and family turmoil in an increasingly volatile socio-political era in the United States. Nocebo was directed by Lorcan Finnegan and stars Eva Green, Mark Strong, Chai Fonasir, and Billy Gadsden. The plot of the movie: a fashion designer is suffering from a mysterious illness that puzzles her doctors and frustrates her husband, until help arrives in the form of a Filipino carer who uses traditional folk healing to reveal a horrifying truth. Nocebo is a visually stunning film that will leave viewers feeling disoriented and unnerved. Finnegan's previous films, Without Name and Vivarium, are visually arresting, and Nocebo is no different. Dear Zoe. Stars Sadie Sink, Theo Rossi, Jessica Capshaw. A year after her family suffers an unimaginable loss, teenage Tess pens a heartfelt letter to her dead little sister Zoe, reflecting on what was lost, her resistance to traveling with her family down Recovery Road, and the surprising sources from which she gains love and support so that she can begin to get better. Soft and Quiet. The thriller, which plays out in real time, follows a single afternoon in the life of an elementary school teacher as she organizes a mixer of like-minded women. When the group heads home, the teacher encounters a woman from her past, leading to a volatile chain of events. Spirited is based on the 1843 novella, A Christmas Carol, written by Charles Dickens and illustrated by John Leach. Stars: Ryan Reynolds, Will Ferrell. Each Christmas Eve, the ghost of Christmas Present selects one dark soul to be reformed by a visit from three spirits. But this season, he picked the wrong Scrooge. Clint Briggs turns the tables on his ghostly host until Present finds himself re-examining his own past, present, and future. For the first time, A Christmas Carol is told from the perspective of the ghosts in this hilarious musical twist on the classic Dickens tale. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever is the most anticipated movie of recent times, and it finally hits theaters in November. It goes without saying that this may be one of the most anticipated projects in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, as the first Black Panther cemented itself as a bona fide phenomenon in blockbuster history. Queen Ramonda, Shuri, Baku, Okoye, and the Dora Milaje fight to protect the Kingdom of Wakanda from intervening world powers in the wake of King T'Challa's death. As the Wakandans strive to embrace their next chapter, the heroes must band together with the help of War Dog Nakia and Everett Ross and forge a new path for their nation. Let's see if Black Panther, Wakanda Forever will catch up with the success of the first movie. Bringing action movie stars together, Paradise City is in cinemas on November 11th. Starring Bruce Willis and John Travolta. Paradise City tells the story of bounty hunter Ian Swan, played by Willis, who is shot and presumed dead after disappearing into the crushing blue waters of Maui. After his tragic death, Swan's son Ryan, played by Blake Jenner, and his ex-partner, played by Stephen Dorff, team up with a local detective, played by Priya Lundberg, in order to find his killers. But when Ryan and his team are threatened by a cruel and ruthless power broker, played by the iconic John Travolta, they find that they may be at the end of their rope. However, when the trio makes it to the guarded and isolated island community of Paradise City, they will be met with an unforeseen ally who might just change everything. The Friendship Game. A group of teenagers in a small town discover a strange metal object that tests the resilience of their friendship. When one of the best friends goes missing after playing the game, our characters are forced to look inward, mostly through the eyes of our lead character Zuoza as she wrestles with her fear of abandonment and resentment of her absent father. She must confront the monster within or no one will survive the game. Poker Face is written and directed by Russell Crowe. Set in the world of high-stakes poker, Russell Crowe stars as tech billionaire and gambler Jake Foley, who gives his best friends a night they'll never forget, a chance to win more money than they've ever dreamed of. But to play, they'll have to give up the one thing they spend their lives trying to keep, their secrets. As the game unfolds, the friends will discover what is really at stake. Poker Face is Russell Crowe's second film as a director. Let's see if Russell Crowe can show his success in acting as well as directing. The menu. A couple, Margot and Tyler, travel to a coastal island in the Pacific Northwest to eat at an exclusive restaurant, Hawthorne, where the reclusive, globally celebrated chef Julian Slowick has prepared a lavish tasting menu for select special guests. Joining the couple are three young, already inebriated tech brothers, Bryce, Soren, and Dave, an older wealthy couple and repeat clients, and Richard, renowned restaurant critic Lillian Bloom and her slavish magazine editor Ted, and a famous middle-aged movie star with his assistant Felicity. Hosted by the immaculately dressed front-of-house staff led by General Elsa, the evening unfolds with increasing tension at each of the guest tables as secrets are revealed and unexpected courses are served. With wild and violent events occurring, Slowick's motivation begins to rattle the diners as it becomes increasingly apparent that his elaborate menu is designed to catalyze to a shocking finale. Maria Schrader's She Said, written by Rebecca Lenkiewicz and based on the book by New York Times reporters Jodie Kander and Megan Twohey, stars Carey Mulligan and Zoe Kazan as the journalists who uncovered a web of secrets, lies, and abuse revolving around famed Hollywood producer Harvey Weinstein. In 2017, Jodie Kander and Megan Twohey from the New York Times revealed many allegations of sexual misconduct against Hollywood producer Harvey Weinstein. He was accused of 3 decades of sexual harassment against actresses, female production assistants, temps, and other employees at Miramax and the Weinstein Company. These allegations fed into the hashtag #MeToo movement and eventually led to Weinstein being sentenced to 23 years in prison. The Inspection. In Elegance Bratton's inspirational and deeply moving retelling of his own story, a young, gay black man, rejected by his mother and with few options for his future, decides to join the Marines, doing whatever it takes to succeed in a system that would cast him aside. But even as he battles deep-seated prejudice and the grueling routines of basic training, he finds unexpected camaraderie, strength, and support in this new community, giving him a hard-earned sense of belonging that will shape his identity and forever change his life. Silent Life, the story of the Lady in Black. The mysterious Lady in Black, claiming to be the last love of the first screen sex symbol Rudolph Valentino, dies in her Hollywood apartment. The only contact the detective finds is the business card of the young filmmaker Paul Hartz. While answering the investigators' questions, Paul brings us half a year earlier to the Hollywood Forever Cemetery when he first met Lady in Black and convinced her to reveal her secret on camera. The story of the old lady takes us back in the past even further, to 1926, when she was a young nurse in NYC and met Rudolph Valentino on the hospital deathbed. There, There! Directed by Andrew Bujalski. Stars: Jason Schwartzman, Molly Gordon, Lily Taylor. Acclaimed filmmaker Andrew Bujalski explores the precarious nature of human connection in There, a round-robin of emotional two-character vignettes in which 7 people reach out and bond momentarily, setting the scene for the next encounter. A pair of new lovers, an alcoholic and her AA sponsor, a teacher and a parent, a lawyer and his client, and more move from scene to scene, revealing intimate details as they forge connections. Via a groundbreaking shooting process, Bujalski plays with ideas of isolation and perception by filming each actor individually in separate locations, only joining them to their partner's performance in the edit. An extraordinary cast including Jason Schwartzman, Lenny James, Lily Taylor, and Molly Gordon sensitively captures the humor and heartbreaking fragility of life and love in the 2020s. The Fablemans. Steven Spielberg's uncharacteristically personal drama The Fablemans is a string of character-defining memories, rare insight into the world's most famous director who has usually kept us at arm's length. The Fablemans, not the Spielbergs, but the vague details are roughly the same. The story of a boy discovering his love for film as his family splinters around him. We start with his first experience at the cinema, as Sammy, in terrified awe of the greatest show on earth and then haunted by what he's seen. Determined to recreate the train crash that has filled his nightmares, to control and understand his fear, he begins a journey of home movies, both encouraged by his parents while reminded that a hobby should only take over so much of his time. As he grows, we spend the majority of the film with his teenage self, played by an excellent Gabriel LaBelle, as he wrestles with his passion while grappling with the slow decay of his parents' marriage, played by Paul Dano and Michelle Williams. Walt Disney Animation Studios is coming up on 100 years of amazing animation and storytelling, and with 60 acclaimed films under their belt, they are not slowing down. In November, audiences will have the chance to see Disney's new animated movie, Strange World, which will explore a completely new environment full of unique and mysterious creatures. Strange World is an action-packed adventure that follows the Clades, a family of explorers, as they traverse a strange and dangerous new landscape full of mystery that has never been mapped before. The team behind Strange World created a whole new world full of creatures that are wholly original, from the very ground that the characters walk on, to the vegetation, and everything that inhabits it. This proved not only to be a truly unique and impressive feat, but absolutely gorgeous as well. Devotion. Director J.D. Dillard. Stars: Glenn Powell, Jonathan Majors, Serinda Swan. Devotion, an aerial war epic based on the best-selling book of the same name, tells the harrowing true story of 2 elite U.S. Navy fighter pilots during the Korean War. Their heroic sacrifices would ultimately make them the Navy's most celebrated wingmen. Brown held the distinction of being the first black aviator to complete the Navy's flight training program, serving in the Korean War with Hudner as his trusty wingman. Dante's Hell film is the story of Dante's journey through the first part of the afterlife, Hell. The infernal journey begins in a dark forest where Dante is threatened by 3 wild beasts. He's rescued by his hero Virgil at Beatrice's request. Virgil guides and protects Dante on his dark journey, descending circle by circle in their subdivisions to the center of the earth where Lucifer resides, and out into purgatory. The story is presented in an unprecedented and unique way that no other film has done until now. Dante's Hell is a visual and narrative journey to and through hell, which will make any audience to reflect on their own lives. We are waiting for your comments about the movies that will be released in November. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel.